Okay, our next speaker. He's a nice fellow, an outgoing fellow, Bansan Choa, CEO of iRemit. This is the largest non-bank Filipino-owned remittance company. It is a very successful operation. 9,500 designated payout centers nationwide. They were the first publicly listed remittance company. Very successful IPO some years ago. It is operations in 27 countries across Asia, North America, the Middle East, and Europe, and it has about 6% share of the remittance market. So this is a very big, I would say a big part of the economy, I would say, Bansan, that he is involved with. Remittances, I'm not sure the exact number these days, but it is a very significant part of the Philippine economy. I've seen his presentation. It's quite an interesting one where he'll go through, so I won't go through some of your background, Bansan, but he's has a CPA designation, a Master's in Business Administration from Ateneo, finalist for the Global Filipino Executive of the Year of HSC Awards, also the winner of the Most Innovative Company of the Year award. So, and also his organization is well known to be a very innovative organization, because some people might say, and I think it has been said about iRemit, that why do people use iRemit? Why not just use a bank? And there's many good reasons for that. Reasons why his organization has grown tremendously and dominate, takes such a large part of the organization. And innovation, speed, professionalism of services, and wide coverage are some of the reasons, but many more as well. So please, Bansan Choa, CEO of iRemit, our friend. Very good, Bansan.
Thank you, Richard. HSCEO Summit event organizer led by Richard Mills, Rebecca Bustamante. Events sponsor led by PLDT Alpha Enterprise. My fellow speakers, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning to all of you. I will change my presentation a little bit, not similar to that was presented earlier by the two speakers. I think from my own experience, I hope you could learn something that you can use, as not everyone has the same situation and the same environment and the step needed to become successful or to become a failure. I first dealt with a history of what happened from the start until we become successful. My family is a Chinese descent, and I'm the second sibling among 5. My ancestor hailed from Fujian province in China. My grandfather came from China in 1880 by riding a boat, and when the boat arrived Philippine water, he jumped ship. I think you know what is jump ship. Nag-TNT. And then he worked as a house help and do other odd jobs. My father came to the Philippines much later. And then with other relatives and my grandfather, they started a small retail business, which is dealing in construction material, which is called Taft Avenue Lumber. After the battle for liberation, what is now known as Metro Manila was one of the most devastated places in the world. My family, many families from provinces come to Metro Manila. And because we have a retail store, the business is very progressive. In that year, we also opened another retail shop, which is called Union Lumber Company. In 1950, my father went back to China and married my mother. But unfortunately, because he's not yet a Filipino citizen, my parents cannot come to the Philippines. So my father have to go back to Hong Kong every 6 months. So that's where we were born. Me, my elder brother, a sister, and myself were born in Hong Kong until 1957, when he finally got his Filipino citizenship. That's the time that we were able to come to the Philippines. Okay. When I came over, I was only 3 years old, but I have to go to school because my elder brother, who's also 5 years old, because to save money to go to school, we go to school at the same time. So in 1966, when we completed grade school, my mother wanted us to study in a good school, which is Xavier School. Since we live in Taft Avenue, we have to wake up 4:45 in the morning every day and take the school bus to arrive at Xavier School, which is in San Juan, by 7:30. We were the first to be picked up and always the last to be delivered home. At around 1970, my parents and uncles decided to distribute the family businesses. That is where our problem started. In 1973, I got my first professional license, and that is driver's license. Because I have to drive a 10-wheeler truck to deliver the construction materials. And during off hours after school, I have to saw lumber, carry cement bags, steel bars, and other construction materials as part of my help in the family business. Fortunately, after graduating from college in 1974, I took a job with SGB and Company CPAs in 1975. While employed in SGB, I enrolled in Ateneo Graduate School of Business for my master's degree. I completed all my masteral academics in 1977, but was only able to finish my thesis and obtain my master's degree in 1985, or 8 years after, because I have to help out in our family business. And also in 1980, I got married to my sweetheart of 4 years, Isabelita Lim. We know each other for a long time because we used to buy lumber from their family. Not long after, our son, Erwin Bryan, was born. Erwin was born with cerebral palsy and needed continuous therapy so that his condition will not deteriorate. My wife, in addition to helping me in the business, had to accompany my son to therapy 3 times a week. In 1984, my sister-in-law became a fellow in Strong Memorial Hospital in Rochester, New York. So my son went to New York and had his first surgery. After his first surgery, he had to undergo another 3 surgeries in the span of 6 years. The ordeal affected our work and family lives and drained our entire savings. Finally, after suffering 4 miscarriages, my wife delivered our daughter, Nicole Anne Marie, in 1993, and Arnold Leigh Ryan in 1995. So medyo history lang muna. Okay. Business always has its share of challenges. Challenges in turn gives rise to opportunity. One such challenge happened in 1975 when our shop was taken back by the landlord. So we have to move to another shop. And we have to transfer from Taft Avenue, Pasay City, to Tambo, Parañaque. In 1976, we incorporated a new company called Banwood Construction Center. It is a modest two-story building with warehouse. This time, we bought the lot by installment so that we won't be kicked out again. Parañaque then was the site of many of the early subdivision developments projects that make it an ideal location for a business. My elder brother and I had taken on the role of construction worker to build the new office. Without expertise in sourcing construction material, my mother, my younger brother, and I established a property development company called Confederation Properties, Inc. We undertook project management for owners and developers, even as we continue to fund the construction material business. We developed townhouses, socialized housing, subdivisions, low-cost subdivisions, and condominiums. We were doing very well from 1991 until 1993, when we experienced over land banking, and when the Home Development Mutual Fund, that's also called the Pag-ibig Fund, stopped its takeout of end-user financing. Our company's cash flow was severely affected, and we have to downsize and do most of the work by ourselves to cut expenses. I'd seek the assistance of my brother-in-law, Wilson, to guarantee a loan from China Bank, and also to ask help from my friend, Glo Tan, to request for credit from Frederick D. of Security Bank. It was through their help that we were able to continue operating. In 1995, we had to make a very hard decision, and that was to choose among three interested investors: Empire East, Crown Equities, and Aboitiz Equity Ventures, to continue our operation and service our cash flow. After evaluating, we decided to sell 1/3 of our company to Crown Equities, an affiliate of Equitable Bank. Confed performed exceptionally well in 1995 until 1997, when other developers were affected by the financial crisis. However, by stroke of fate, Equitable Bank had acquired PCI Bank, had to be sold to Banco de Oro in 1998. We had to reorganize, Confed, downsize, and then my brother at that time also cashed in, so I was left alone. In 1998, moving on and continuing with business proved to be not very hard, as I am familiar with the entire operation, but getting new people and train them proves to be the harder part. On July 1, 2001, Bansan Choa Family Incorporated Surewell Equities, Inc., and we diversified by investing in other industries. Surewell have real estate ventures, have investment in 30% of iRemit Inc. and 30% of Sterling Bank of Asia. And at the same time, we are lessor of various commercial and residential units. Pero akala nyo, puro good news yun. Meron pang kadugtong na bad news. Okay? In 2000, on a golf tour to China, with my high school classmate from Xavier School, including Mr. Bentiu, after our golf game, we went to Hong Kong, and I requested that I have excuse to go to our marketing office in Hong Kong, in Worldwide Plaza. They went with me, and it was right there and there who Mr. Bentiu then was a part owner of a company which is a super agent of Western Union. Right there and there, iVantage Corporation will share with us, and then that is the born of iRemit Hong Kong. Finally, on May 6, 2001, the first remittance office of iRemit opened in Hong Kong. That is a share office between our marketing office and the office of iRemit. At that time, we called iRemit as our sideline business. Having already successful business of our own, my family was in property development and dealer in construction materials, while Ben's family was in banking. They used to own the iBank, International Exchange Bank, manufacturing, and property development, being the owner of the Discovery Group. I had to take a trip to Hong Kong every other week to ensure that the new business will progress. In July 2002, JT Casey Equities, which is the holding company of the Chu family, Surewell Equities, which is our company, and JPSA Global Services bought 100% of iRemit from iVantage. Having limited capital and other resources, we were looked down by our competitors when we started in 2002. We requested the head of a remittance business of a known bank to be the president of iRemit Inc. We revealed and asked him that with his experience, iRemit wanted to have 600,000 transactions a year in the first 2 years of our operation. He replied that iRemit, with its size and late entry in the market and the competition, will require at least 6 years to be able to achieve such target volume. So he did not join us. We were left to work alone. In 2003, or about 8 months after we initially negotiated with the person, iRemit hits its target volume, and the rest, as they say, is history. iRemit is now doing 3 million transactions every month. Every year. Hindi pala every month, every year. And still growing. In addition, because we just got China market and Indonesia market. The shareholders had to seek assistance from friends in the industry to refine its business model and adopt best practices. We had to work not only double time, but triple time. We had to innovate and invest to develop our customer services and human capital. We had to request government agencies to accredit us as collection agent and even have to put up performance bond. Since we are not a bank, we are a non-bank remittance company, the government have different classification for us. So we have to give them performance bond to be accredited to become their collection agent. After 5 years of hard work and expansion and profitable operation from 2004 to 2006, we took a bold step in 2007 by going public and raising money for additional working capital and for expansion overseas. iRemit today is the largest non-bank Filipino-owned remittance company and the only publicly listed remittance company in the Philippines. It currently maintains its presence in 27 countries and territories throughout the world through its network of more than 1,200 remittance outlets consisting of subsidiaries, joint ventures, strategic partnership, and tie-ups, and more than 9,700 payout stations in the Philippines, and still increasing. The iRemit Visa card, powered by China Trust or Sterling Bank of Asia, can be used in over 17,000 ATM machines in the Philippines and over 1 million Visa Plus ATM in 179 countries all over the world. The card may also be used to make purchases in over 36 million merchants around the world that are accredited by Visa and its affiliates. In 2007, the partnership of Surewell Equities Inc. and JT Casey Group of Companies and Star Equities, which are both owned by the Chu family, resulted in the birth of Sterling Bank of Asia. It's a savings bank. Sterling Bank of Asia began with the acquisition of Far East Savings Bank from the Bank of Philippine Island. Starting with only 9 branches in 2007, the bank have been aggressively expanding. Currently, It has 38 branches nationwide, strategically located in Metro Manila and other key cities in provinces. In just 6 years of operation, Sterling Bank of Asia has become one of the top 3 banks in the country, placing 5th among 67 thrift banks in terms of total deposits and 6th in terms of total assets. Investors always want a fair share on the return of money that they have put in a company. Thus, a company like iRemit has always ensured that it periodically declares dividends for distribution to its shareholders. Not everything is for profit. We give back something to the society. Business is not only about earning profit. It is also important to contribute to the upliftment and betterment of the larger society. Both iRemit and Sterling Bank of Asia work very closely with Kabalikat ng Migrante Pilipino Inc. or KAMPI and Kabalikat ng OFW Inc. 2 non-government organizations that extend financial, livelihood, and educational assistance to families of OFWs. They also assist the Philippine embassies and consulates, the Philippine Overseas Labor Offices, and Filipino communities and associations in its host countries to promote the welfare of overseas Filipinos and, if needed, to provide assistance to distressed OFWs. We are also in cooperation of Synergia by assisting the pupils of P. Guevara Elementary School in Tondo, Manila. Also in cooperation with CBN Asia and 700 Club, iRemit continue to support children of a Dumacat settlement in Rodriguez, Rizal, and provides assistance by way of food, clothing, and school materials. Ito naman, konting yabang. In time, after having gone in business for many years, you will know that you are doing something good or something right when people take notice and your recognition for your effort. I have been fortunate enough to have been a finalist of the Global Filipino Executive Award of the Asia CEO Forum in 2011 and 2012, and a finalist in the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award in 2006. And included in the Biz News Asia Real Estate Who's is Who in 2009 and 2012, and awarded as one of the top 10 Filipino entrepreneurs in Singapore in 2010. Last year, I was also awarded a Pusong OFW Award by the Blas F. Ople Policy Center and Training Institute, and recognized as one of the exemplary men of influence by the Philippine Cancer Society. I have served in the government, having been appointed as one of the first board members of Real Estate Service Profession under the Professional Regulation Commission. That is why I have the title Honorable. I don't know if it was master. While holding registration number 2 in the real estate broker profession, number 2 also in the real estate appraiser profession, and number 2 in the real estate consultant. Ito talaga yung tip ko. Okay? The heart and soul of business. My business root and the legacy of my grandparents and parents have deeply ingrained in me the value of hard work and perseverance, innovation, having a pioneering spirit, honesty, and excellent work ethics. My Pinoy side, on the other hand, has given all my aspiration the heart and the goal that all of my hard work should also benefit others. Hard work alone will not guarantee one's success in business. While luck may be a factor, I believe that the twist and turn that one encounters, whether in life or in business, is part of a plan that God has designed for everyone, no matter what their stature in life is. The people that we meet, the friendship we cherish, and the business associates we cultivate in our lives are there in accordance with such plan. It is up to us in our daily interaction with our fellow men how we associate and treat them, and how we make use of blessing that God has given us, that this will ultimately dictate our success or failure. In business, one can't help but deal with all kinds of people, especially one's entrepreneurial endeavor are in distinct industries. This includes the ability to ensure that your message comes across clearly and concisely. After all, leadership is all about harnessing the creative talent and skills of people to deliver results. My advocacies, then and now, are directed toward improving lives. I would like to make a positive and lasting contribution to our society through sustainable projects that will provide investment opportunities for our Filipino overseas workers. It is a dream of every Filipino to have a home of their own. By building quality and affordable homes in suitable locations, they can enjoy the fruit of their labor and look forward to a comfortable retirement in the Philippines. Successful people never say never. So in order to be successful, one must welcome challenges. Even if you fail, it is important to learn from one's mistake and come out a better person. Everything in business and in life is all about making a decision. When a decision is made, it can either turn out to be right or wrong. Never blame yourself if it turned out to be wrong decision, as a timely decision is always better than not making a decision at all. Money is not everything. Practice good work and business ethics. Be honest and trustworthy, and build a fine reputation. People will want to deal with you and partner with you because a good name is the best business asset. Teach everyone. Share your knowledge and experience. The best investment one can make in business is the one made in people. Always remember to thank Almighty God for all the blessing that you enjoy now, and not everything that men want, they will get. Thank you. Once again, good morning.
Very, very good.